Welcome to the Work in Process podcast. Thank you so much for joining me again today on this episode. I'm always so glad when I get to sit down and do interview type episodes because it's much more interesting that way. That's the core of the podcast, sitting down and talking about the journey and the process of other people that are also on the journey of purpose discovery, destiny alignment, and all those kind of stuffs. So I'm always excited when I get to do interview kind podcast like this. And with me today in this recording space is one of the greatest of all time, my brother and friend, the CEO of ACF Space. I'm ACF now. Amazing guy. Came to visit me here at Bowen University. Stayed at my place. I fed him for a couple of days, and now he's looking good. And we just said, all right, let's record a podcast episode and let's just have conversations. So you're welcome to the Work in Process podcast.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right. Recently, you started an Instagram page that you called Excel's Journey.
Yeah.
And what you do on that Instagram page is that you record a lot of, you document, that's what you called it. You
Yeah.
document your experiences, activities, what you are learning, what you are doing. And I discovered that on that your page, you were not really trying to be professional or trying to be expert about it. Your main goal is just to document whatever it is that you're learning, whatever it is that you're going through, and just be present in a particular space that you are and capture that moment.
That's
And
true.
then you just post everything on Instagram. So let's kick off this podcast by asking why. Why do
Okay.
you think documentation should be important and everybody should be documenting something?
All right. Thank you so much for that question. I really
Yeah.
appreciate. Why do I think documentation is necessary or important? I also asked myself the question till I started. All right. I think if anybody is following that platform or that Instagram page, Excel's Journey, you get to understand when I did one of my intro video, I started with written journaling. Like I write down everything that I go through every day.
Yeah.
No matter how small it might be. There are some days I will just write, all right, I'm feeling sleepy and I have to go and sleep. I just make sure my pen touches that book every day.
Mm.
So I did that for a couple of times. Now it's over a year now and I'm still journaling. Then there was a time I was looking back into my journal and I could see how I've transformed. So dramatic that I don't know there was, and as I was checking it, I was feeling changed in my heart because I could see how I went from this guy who who was thinking about examination, school examination now. He's this guy that is on to interviewing random because I remember around August 2023, I was just interviewing business people for no reason. Like I didn't know why. That day I was just bored in the house and I just said, let me just go out and interview business people. So I went to a guy selling shawarma. I went to a woman selling provisions. I went to one making shoes for no reason. So those things were written in my journal. And seeing that I actually went through this phase was amazing. I didn't know why I did that, but seeing that I did it showed that I've actually done different things just in 1 year.
Mm.
So I feel journaling is very important because it makes you understand how well you've improved. It makes you understand. Now, it's not even about improving, it makes you understand your process. And when the process of a thing is understood, the end result can be determined.
Yeah.
Like when we understand the process, because I'm in the department chemical engineering, and all what we do there is just processing.
Mhm.
Chemical engineering is not about the final product, it's all about processing. What does it take to make, like now you're wearing a sweatshirt, what does it take to make 20 of a sweatshirt? What are the machines we need to make 20 of a sweatshirt? What are you to make one sweatshirt? The amount of machines are you to make 20 sweatshirts? So once we understand the process, the end result is always very clear. So I saw myself write in a book, and it was amazing what a pen and a book can do to somebody's life.
Yeah.
So I was like, why don't I take this further and make it me videoing myself? Like, how tangible would that be? If I check that also in the next 1 year, how tangible would that be? I don't know what the end result will be, but I surely know the process. And since I know the process, I have a glimpse of the end result.
Mm.
So, have you? If we can lay hold of our process to discovery, our process to greatness, and put it that way, we will be assured of our greatness, of our success, of our achievement, of our goals. Many people can't lay hold of a process to a thing, but they want to get that thing, and it's not possible. Every final product went through a process,
Mm.
and if I don't know the process so well, I can't get the final product. So I was so eager to lay hold of my process. That was the reason why Excel's video journal started.
Okay.
That was the major reason why I wanted to lay hold on my process so much that I can grasp the way I speak when I was in 2012. I can grasp the way I speak when I was in 2013. I can grasp the way I speak when I was in, you know what I mean? Like I could lay hold of everything how I felt.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give myself more of that nostalgic feeling
Mm-hmm.
that it's as if I want to check myself in 2023, I can be present. Like I can close my eyes and say, yes, I remember when I was in this state.
Yeah.
So that was just major reason why I
So
started.
basically, you were documenting your process because you want to be able to like go back and check how far you have come, how far you have
Yeah.
improved,
Yeah,
what has the journey been like for
Yeah.
you, and you feel like it's important because if we can grasp the process in which something is being made,
Yeah.
we can obviously determine the final output of whatever it is that we are making.
yeah, that's true.
Is that what you're saying?
You know what I'm saying?
And why are you not now concerned about it being top notch? Because we were talking not quite long ago, and then we were talking about how people have joined this whole content creation stuff for money and making money,
Yeah.
and to some people it's a business. You know, like you see Ronaldo's new YouTube channel. You obviously know that he's not passionate about. It's not like as if he's passionate about YouTube.
True.
Football is his thing.
Yeah.
But he approached YouTube as a business. He's approaching content creating now as a business.
Mm-hmm.
And most people that don't even have influence up to him are now just joining YouTube and all these social media platforms as a business because they know they can make money from it. So what they do is that they try to be as professional and as excellent and as enticing as possible so that people can obviously join the platform.
Yeah.
Why do you think it is important for people to document but not be so concerned about it looking like content creation? Because some people can think what you are doing is just content creation, but to you, it's for you.
Yeah.
But the public has access to it, but it's just for you.
Yeah.
So it's not like as if you are making money from it. What do you have to say about that?
All right. So currently I'm in Bowen University and I've been making a couple of videos concerning
I've been
Bowen
helping you to make
University.
them.
Yeah.
You're not paying me, but I'm helping you.
So I've got people telling me, are you not a landmark? Why are you videoing Bowen? Then for a sec, I thought of dropping some of the videos I made. Like, actually, this is too much. Like, why?
Like too much about Bowen.
Yeah, like why do
Wow.
I drop it? So I just told myself again, what's the purpose of what you are doing?
Is it for the people?
Is it for the people? So I just told the guy, I said, guy, I'm just adding more videos to my journal. And I like the way I could define what I'm doing. I called it a journal. So a journal is the Instagram page is very tangible to me. It's very real.
Yeah.
So I just told my guy straight up. I said, I'm adding more videos to my journal, and you can check out the journal. I don't care. That is my life. That is my story. And in that video, in my journal, my video journal, I made a statement. I said, no matter how small I do, I like to make impact. That means if I can see how a book and a pen can change someone's life in 1 year, then why don't I let people do it? Because if it can change my life, if I'm really concerned about impact, anything that can change my life means it can change any other person's life.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, let me model what journaling is to the outside world. So I was thinking more of a point of impact. Like, if nobody shows themselves outside, who will know that journaling really helps? So I went ahead and I did it. And I remember yesterday I was telling you that I want to make this video journaling of the stuff more of a movement, not just me doing it. Like, I want to really make it a movement.
In such a way that everybody's doing video journalism,
Yeah.
everybody's documenting something
Yes.
in whatever form person.
Yes.
Yeah. I think what you're doing is really nice. So, like I said, why is it that you're not really concerned about excellence and enticing, given that we're in a system and in a culture whereby everybody wants their
Okay.
content to be excellent, everybody
Okay.
wants their content to be nice.
Okay.
Why are you not concerned about it being? Because I remember I'll be recording you and I'll be like, it's dark, and you'll be like, oh, it's okay, I'll edit it and stuff like that. You're not really too concerned about it looking good and looking nice and Instagrammy.
All right. Yeah. Many times, if you check my first, even now, like I'm not saying check my first, check my new. You will see good quality, you see bad quality, you see different things. So even like I
Everything
say,
is mixed together.
everything mixed together. So why am I not concerned about excellence? Is that number one, excellence is a type of friction. No matter how good the word may sound, excellence is a type of friction. So if I'm very concerned about excellence, you might not see as much video you are seeing there now. So I can't really lay hold of that season of that episode of my life. And the second thing is that right now as we are talking, if there is a camera videoing us, the setup is not really excellent. It's not nice.
Thank you.
But when we watch when we watch this later in years to come,
Yeah.
the imperfection of the place, like how everything is not perfect, which is the truth, brings us back to that feeling. I was listening to a podcast from a particular lady one day, and she was telling me,
Obviously, she was telling you.
she was telling me, said, if you notice that everything that is natural is imperfect, God never made anything that was like straight. Like, look at it, there's nothing natural that is perfect to a man. So, how do I see journaling? Just a bunch of imperfect things, just to understand how much you've grown. That's why I see journaling. So, if it's excellent, I can't really go back to the feeling, because most time when we feel some things, it is like when we feel some things sometimes we are not in the right condition to video. That's why sometimes even when you pick a camera to video somebody, the person's posture changes when you put the camera at the front.
Yeah.
So I want to get very used to a camera that I can look the worst, and you can put a camera and you can point a camera to me and I will still look the worst. Like I want to be
comfortable
with that.
Okay.
Like I'm not saying worst as like I don't know, it's not bad worst. Like I'm saying,
but you're not looking camera worthy.
yeah,
In the sense of it.
yeah. So I just want to look back at my videos and see the authenticity and originality in that video.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why I like you having this kind of conversations where we can talk about the process. For crying out loud, the name of the podcast is Work in Process.
Yeah.
So we are not really bent on, okay, what is your result?
Yeah.
What we want to know is, how did you get to where you are now?
Yeah.
And that's one of the visions I have for the podcast, in such a way that in the next months to come, when I bring in maybe much more accomplished people to the podcast, I'm just asking them questions about their process. I don't want to, everybody knows that they have this award, they have that award, the accolade is there, but I'm like, all right, sir, ma, we want to know your process. That's what this podcast is about. How did you start? What did you do? What were the sacrifices you made? That's what we want to talk about. And most people don't want to hear about the process. They don't want to hear about the sacrifices these people have made. They just want the result. They want the accolades. But I'm very interested in processes. And that's why I read a lot of autobiographies and documentaries, and watch a lot of documentaries.
Yeah.
I told you that's also why I started journaling, because I want it to be in such a way that no matter where I reach in life, I could always go back to check something I was doing when I was not yet that thing. And I hope people get what I'm saying. I could always take my journal. I've actually been journaling since 2021, so I think I'm much more senior than in journaling. But I can go back now from 2021 and just read some stuff. I'm like, oh, guy, you were not supposed to say this in this kind of season.
Yeah.
But it's such a powerful thing to me, like you said, and I just wrote it down here. You are talking about feelings, how you feel, the nostalgia, how you perceive things when you now eventually, maybe when I have a podcast setup space that is not somebody's office, I can now think, oh, there was a time, let me go and check the episode I did with Excel that time when we were just using somebody's office with some K9 mics and not the mic stand thingy kind of thing. That's nice. That's amazing. That's amazing. So, final question on this segment of documentation and all. Well, I don't know if it's the final question because you may say something that will spring up another question. Why do you feel like it is high time everybody? You know, you are doing it for you now, but you said something. You said it's a movement. You want it
Yeah.
to be like everybody's journaling,
Everybody.
doing a form of documentation.
Yeah.
Why do you think it is necessary in this our own time and in this our generation?
All right. This generation, it is my generation, and I know what majority of people feel. So people can tell me, I don't know, if anybody tells me this guy doesn't know what he's saying, it is my generation too. So I think I have a say from this generation. Um, this is the generation where I feel 50%, I'm saying half of generation, 50% of people are suffering from identity crisis. So there is and when there is identity crisis, there's an high level of disorderliness. Nothing is proper. Nothing is right. Everybody have their point of view. Everybody have the angle they look at something. And if there is too much iron in the work gets destroyed. So there is no common goal. There is no common aim. Everybody feel they can come and say, I can choose if I'm a man, if I'm a woman. I can choose if I'm this, if
It's
I'm
good
that.
to you. It's bad to me. It's bad to you. It's good to me.
Yeah.
Everybody, it depends on, and that's why I used to say. Sorry to cut you short here. When we're having maybe a kind of argument or debate on a particular issue,
Yeah.
and then people come and say people are different. He killed somebody, but to him, killing is a good thing.
Yeah.
To you, killing is a bad thing. I'm like, don't we even have a standing principle or law again that guides the general action of everybody? Because in the definition of principle is that principles are fundamental. They're supposed to, they are universal laws. Principles are universal laws. So if you kill somebody in Nigeria and they say it's bad, it's supposed to, if you kill somebody in the United States of America too, it's wrong, it's bad. You know. So you can continue.
So the level of disorderliness that we are experiencing in the world, now not in Nigeria, in the world is very, very high, and it's concerning to even me. And I think it will be more concerning to the previous generation, because obviously I think they cared more about this generation, but even though they were the current generation, that's another story for another day. Very concerning. And the root of this, I traced it. I try to like look at it. Okay, why is it that the level of disorderliness is high? Why are people suffering from identity crisis? Where is all this resulting to? No, religion never answered the question. Tradition never answered the question.
Yeah.
But I think there was a place where we misplaced self-awareness. There was something missing. Nobody took time to study themselves anymore. Nobody asked the Father. Nobody asked the Creator. Tell me more about me. I need to know more about me. I think I'm confused about who I truly am. That's why we try to say I'm a male, I'm female, I'm bisexual, I'm homosexual. Different things that people say. But they never asked the Creator. You know, if the manufacturer of the thing did not tell you are this, who are you as a product to say you are that? So God created we as humans, but we think we have the capacity to determine who we are. But He determines who we are. So there's a low level of self-awareness in this generation. And I feel because we've not laid hold of ourselves, like we've not put ourselves in a paper, put ourselves in a video, asked people enough questions, asked God enough questions, we are very confused. So why am I doing this journal? Why am I telling people to document and stuff like that? It helps you look at your life right in the mirror and tell your life and tell yourself, oh boy, you are going the wrong direction. Oh boy, you are jealous. Oh boy, I think you've acted like a fool. Oh, you are stingy.
You have some insecurities.
Yes. That's what I was telling you yesterday, that people are scared of doing stuff like this generation because we don't want to be corrected anymore. We are missing the place. Nobody likes correction.
Yeah.
So I think, okay, if you don't even want to be corrected, which can't be avoided, you can't avoid being corrected, then try to correct yourself genuinely, sincerely. And I think many of us are not looking deep down into our hearts and seeing that we need to be corrected from within. We are not being truthful. I told you about a day when I was journaling, and as I was writing the story that happened that day, I got to understand that the way I acted that day was because of jealousy. And I told myself, Excel, you are jealous. Look at this situation and try to analyze this well. You are jealous. But I think that is hard for many people this generation to tell themselves right in the face that they are wrong. And it's from a very poor level of self-awareness. So what am I doing with this? I'm trying to raise the self-awareness level. I'm trying to give people more form of identity. I'm trying to give people more form of authenticity. And I'm trying to help the world at large. So I'm doing it from the root, which also affect the fruit, affect the trees, and affect the world at large. So I believe for my small space of influence, which is called small, but I'm telling you, I'm influencing the world.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like we can just continue, but I've been very conscious of the time.
Yeah.
So probably on another episode, which we're going to do shortly after this, we'll talk a lot about self-awareness and self-confidence, because I already outlined it here, and that's what we're going to talk about.
All right.
Because I initially just wanted this podcast episode to be about why a video journal, why documentation, and something people can listen to under 30 minutes.
All right.
So to say. I think what you're doing is amazing. Truly amazing. Because I think I'm one of the first persons to go there. I watched a couple of the videos and I just thought, this guy still has plenty. I love this kind of time on my Instagram. So I just liked everything, commented on a few and all, because I want to also be that person that after maybe like 10 years, I say, this guy that I seen, I was one of the first people that
Thank you so
that
much.
go and check my comments in 2024.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
And I think it's amazing. I think everybody should have a form of documenting. That's why I do this podcast. That's why I have a personal journal myself. That's why I do my newsletter, and I don't really care about grammar and writing that much. I used to tell people I'm not a writer, but I enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I like what you said. Pursuit of excellence sometimes can be friction. Thank you so much for coming to this episode of the podcast.
I appreciate it.
Really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.